The Great Round-Robin Standoff at the Rusty Anchor. Arthur, Barnaby, and Colin were the three musketeers of the Rusty Anchor, though instead of rapiers, they wielded salt and vinegar crisps and a profound understanding of the unwritten laws of the pint. They had occupied the same corner table for so long that the varnish had worn away in the exact shape of their elbows. The evening had begun swimmingly. Arthur had bought the first round, the opening gambit. Barnaby the second, the solid middle. Now the glasses were reaching that perilous level, the dregs stage, where conversation starts to stutter and eyes begin to wander. The air in the pub grew thick with a tension that had nothing to do with the looming storm outside and everything to do with the fact that it was, undeniably, Colin's turn. "Blimey," Colin remarked, peering into his almost empty glass with the intensity of a diamond merchant. "I think the glassblower made this one with a leak. It's vanished into thin air." Arthur, a man who treated the pub round order with the sanctity of a peace treaty, didn't flinch. "Yes, tragedy, Colin. Absolute Shakespearean drama. Speaking of things vanishing, so is the moisture in my throat. I'm parched as a sun-dried tomato." Barnaby nodded solemnly, leaning back. "It's a bit close in here, isn't it? Makes a man think about hydration, or the lack thereof." Colin, sensing the pincer movement, executed a classic British maneuver, the pocket rummage. He began patting his pockets with a look of growing concern, as if he expected to find a hidden doorway to Narnia instead of his wallet. "I could have sworn I had a tenner. I must have left it in my other trousers. You know, the ones I wear for competitive lawn mowing." "Competitive lawn mowing?" Arthur raised an eyebrow. "Is that before or after you practice your invisible gnome training? We've been sitting here for 2 hours, Colin. Don't tell us you're skint just as the whistle blows." "Oh, I'm not skint," protested Colin, perhaps a bit too loudly. "I'm just experiencing a temporary liquidity problem. It's a very modern problem, very cutting edge." "Right," Barnaby sighed, checking his watch. "And I suppose the liquidity you're looking for is currently sitting behind the bar in a chilled glass?" The standoff reached its peak. In a British cub, asking someone directly to buy a round is considered a bit on the nose. Instead, one must use a series of increasingly obvious hints, metaphorical sighs, and pointed looks at the bar. "I'll tell you what," Colin said, desperately trying to change the subject. "Did you see the match last night? Total shambles, wasn't it? The referee was clearly away with the fairies." "The only shambles I see," Arthur marked, tapping his empty glass with his ring, "is the state of this table. It looks like a desert, Colin, a glass Sahara." Colin looked at the bar. He looked at his friends. He looked at a stray dog by the fire that seemed to be judging him. Then he spotted it, his safe place. Is that Nigel over there?" Colin pointed to a man across the room who looked nothing like Nigel. "I think I owe him a fiver from the 1998 raffle. I should go and settle my debts. Duty calls." He began to stand up, but Barnaby's hand landed on his shoulder like a ton of bricks. "Nigel's in Mallorca, Colin. That's a hat stand. Now, are you going to the bar, or are we going to call the Queen and have your passport revoked for un-British conduct?" Colin slumped back down. He knew when he was beaten. The umbrella paradox of pub etiquette had caught him. When you have money, everyone wants a round. When you're pretending not to have money, you've never been more visible. "Fine, fine," Colin grumbled, rising with the grace of a man heading to the gallows. "But I'm counting this as a double round. Next week, Arthur, you're on the hook for the welcome back drinks." "Fair play," Arthur grinned, his thirst already feeling better. "Just don't forget your wallet in your invisible trousers next time." As Colin trudged toward the bar, Barnaby turned to Arthur. He's a good lad, really, just needs a bit of a nudge." "Oh, absolutely," Arthur agreed, watching the barman start to pour. "It's the British way, isn't it? A bit of drama, a lot of complaining, and eventually everyone gets their pint. It's enough to make you proud." The rain lashed against the windows, the wind howled like a banshee, but inside the Rusty Anchor, the world was right again. The round had been bought, the balance of the universe restored, and the three musketeers settled back into their elbows-shaped grooves, ready to do it all again next Friday.